yeah, heck yeah.
Good morning, crypto fans. How we doing out there? Today is Sunday, February 28th. It is 10 a.m. here in United States Central Time. We are looking at a sea of red. As you can see on this heat map, I'll put this link in the chat for you if you want to bookmark that. As you can see on the heat map, we have nothing but redness everywhere across the crypto space. Except for you'll see the green ones pop up. Those are basically uh, pinned to the dollar used. You'll see Tether, DAI, some of the other ones that are green. So basically, they should remain unchanged. USDT showing a little bit of red. So let's take a look at the charts, starting with BTC. If you tuned in yesterday, and if you didn't tune in yesterday, let me get you the link for that one, because we did have a discussion on descending wedge patterns, Fibonacci. There's a link to that video. Fibonacci retracement, we did some candlestick analysis and talked about those. There's some good tools in there for you. And basically what we're going to be doing today, covering mostly, is we're going to be scouting for an entry and scouting for a target, a sale target, because essentially there is some anticipation that we may continue to fall. The stock market is currently selling off, and lots of uncertainty out there with inflation, uh, unmet expectations with how fast the stimulus is coming, those kind of things. So anyway, let's get straight into charting. If you're brand new to the channel, please like and subscribe. It helps out. And for the YouTube algorithm, it'll help share it with other folks. And feel free to share if you have some friends. Say hello in the chat if you're out there. So basically, you can see these white lines that I have drawn from yesterday, and I haven't touched anything today yet. Showing this, we were looking for we got a pattern that emerged. We were going to see if it was to break to the upside. Well, unfortunately, we broke down to the downside, and with some considerable amount of volume. And so today we're going to ask ourselves, first of all, we're going to do away with these lines that we've drawn. Let's see if we can extend this on down. So perhaps we could do that, but there's some up here, some overshot. I'll tell you what, we'll just do away with that. And what I'd like to show you today is, I still have my entry points for this trade, which I'm still okay with, because right now I'm scouting for a bounce, and I've got some fresh powder ready to unload on this bounce attempt. So what I want to do is I'm going to switch over to the daily time frame here in TradingView, and this is going to look very, very I don't know, cluttered and dissimilar. I have a lot of notation on here, but what I'm using here is let's see if I can rescale this a little. No, it's okay. What I'm using is the Fibonacci retracement, and let me put the fib in there for you. You can go on Investopedia with this link right there, read all about it. So basically, Fibonacci is a sequence of numbers that naturally occur. So if you take 0 plus 1 is 1, then 1 plus 1 is 2, 2 plus 1 is 3, and you keep going up, and then basically you can start dividing those numbers and you come up with a ratio. I won't get into all that complicated discussion, but read all about it if you want. It's pretty neat, because a lot of technical traders use Fibonacci. You will see the Fibonacci tool. It's built into TradingView. It's built into most trading platforms. And basically what it shows is there's going to be a reversion back to certain areas. And you can use the Fibonacci retracement to help you as an indicator. It's not going to predict, of course, and it's not going to be the only thing we're going to look at, but it will give you some entry points and potential sell targets. So let's have a look. So basically what I've done over here to the left, I'll double click here. mine may look a little different. I have customized my Fibonacci, but you can find the tool over here on the toolbar to the left. We'll click out there, and you'll see that I have mine FIB Retracement. I just put the star by there so I could, and it's gonna. I'll just draw you one down here. So basically, you can start drawing from the top down or from the top up, and I'll give you an example of which one of those to do. So let's do that. We'll delete that guy. Excuse me. There we go. Delete. And let's go over it. So basically, what we want to see is in this particular move on the daily chart. Let's see if I can make that bigger, because there we go. So what we did is we went up to the very top of this move and to the very bottom. So down here you can see where I have drawn to this. These are pivot points in price. So we brought the this particular tool. We wanted the 1 to be on the bottom and 0 to be on top. So what we were trying to measure here is a retracement back down. So as you can see, you've got 0 and then the incremental percentages, 0.236, 0.38, which is usually the bounce area. Then there's the 50, which is not a Fibonacci number, by the way, but it is pertinent to trading, and we'll talk about that here in a little bit. And then the 0.61, and you may not have the 786, and let me show you how I added that one in there. So you can just come over here, and I actually unchecked these extensions because I think the standard template will go 2.618 and things like that. So if all this sounds kind of weird and uncertain, it'll start to make, just play with it a little bit. It'll start to make sense after a while. But I did add the point zero. You have to put the 0 in there, 0.786, as an additional metric into the template. So this one's measuring what we're trying to do is understand the retracement that's going to go back down to the mean, right? So we're usually looking for the 0.38. We broke below the 0.51, and now we're scouting this magic area between the 0.786 and the 0.886. That one may not be in there as well. So just make sure you have those numbers in your Fibonacci. And so basically what we're seeing is there's a magic region in here between the 0.786 and the 0.886. There typically is going to be a bounce. And so what I've done is absolutely drawn this one upside down. So let's fix this. We're going to make this one green. It should be green. I turn that one to, I drew a rectangle with a rectangle tool to basically indicate to us that that's going to be what we're going to analyze as our buy. So we would take a position here, and then up in the red zone is the sell. So basically, this Fibonacci chart and this Fibonacci chart, they're inversions of each other. And so basically how you do those is, like I said, you come in here to the Fibonacci tool, and if you pull down from the up to the top, you'll have the 1 on the bottom. So that would be your Fibonacci. We're going to measure the down move after the top, and then we would want to measure what is going to be the retracement on the way up. So you pull that one from the top down. And then that's how we have these drawn up above us here. So we'll delete those out, and I'll start to explain. So basically what we're thinking about is, this is the daily time chart. So these are several days. Within the next, I don't know, maybe middle of next week even, we're going to be looking for the this down move to come into this range. This would be our optimal buying range, and we're going to look for other signals too. So let me just double click, get the other stuff back. So we're going to look for the RSI to be down here in the oversold, right? So that would help us. We should start looking for an increase in volume. Those would all be indicators of a bounce, and that's what we're after. We want to be a part of that bounce So once we do take a position here in this green zone between the set 0.786 and 0.886, then we're going to expect over the several days, and we would watch closely, you know, the pattern. It's going to bounce around up and down and make its way up to the 0.786 and the 0.886 on this other Fibonacci. And once we establish a new swing low is basically when the price goes down. It's a pivot, right? And we can even go on our, I have the pivots. You just look up, do a search on your indicators, pivot HL and 5 and 5. Then that will tell you, kind of help you identify the swing low. But you can see it down here where we came down, we bounced. So you would just take that low. That's one range. And that's what we're scouting here. So what we're looking for is this to come into this buy range here in the green area. We could even take that rectangle, pull it out over here. I don't anticipate us to get into that, although it could happen. But once we get in this green area, we're going to be ready to unload some powder. Remember, this is not financial advice. This is just some dude on the internet showing you how to do your own technical analysis. Then with that expectation in this bounce, we can readjust our Fibonacci over here on the right, because if we do bounce where we anticipate, we need to set that as our new low. So we would look here. If that, let's say we bounced right here on this line here at the 39,612, then we would need to move our sell range slightly upward to offset. So that would give us, we expect to get up into 0.786 in between that. And this would be the absolute top. You don't want to try to hold out and nail the tops. They're very difficult. In fact, you may, if you saw weakness in volume, or if we got into the overbought, you may start scaling out of your position. So if this all came into play, we would be looking at this would be a swing trade. It's certainly not going to happen over a day, over a day's time, but you're looking like, you know, 40% move to the upside. So that's pretty darn significant. So that's kind of what we're looking for. You're going to probably see a lot of other technical traders doing the same. There are some influencing factors that we need to consider, so let's talk about them really quick. A couple of things you want to look at is, first of all, the news. Basically, there's a lot of things out there, particularly the stock market. I covered that in the episode yesterday. If you want to go back and watch that, is, you know, the stock market's been selling off. The bond market is kind of getting out of control, all signaling inflation, right? So those kind of contributing factors can cause a lot of uncertainty. And as we know, the media will try to take advantage of that fear, uncertainty, and doubt, and then try to inject more into the population, which can cause weak hands, and people will tend to sell out of their positions. So anyway, well, that's BTC. And so what we could do now is we'll just go ahead and zoom into our 1 hour time frame, and we'll chart this fellow out like we normally do. And as you see, I'm still in these positions. I have no reason to exit, because, you know, these are just trading positions. They're not my normal HODL position. So we're looking to find a bottom down here on the this is back to the 1 hour time frame. We're looking for previous support. We're going to have to go way out to this area here. Did we lose our line? Where did it go? Yeah, there we go. So right in here, you can see I'm right. My two entries are right in this 50% range. So we're looking to find some support down around this area, which is going to be around the 42,382. And then coming back up, you're going to anticipate, we can grab this fella. There we go. The 45 range, you know, 45,000 USD. So be ready, be prepared, have your mind set for some more pain to come. and get your powder ready to take advantage of the bounce. One strategy is to scale in small on the way down. Psychologically, that's very difficult to do. I get it. But it's, it's way better. It's way easier to buy, except when you don't want to be up in here buying on the top, knowing that it's going to have to come back and retrace, set up some support, and then bounce back. Okay, that's BTC USD. As I mentioned in the title, we're looking at a few others, and we're going to kind of do those out of order because we've got some similar setups. Litecoin, there's been a lot of discussion right now, especially with the Fed. We'll switch back to the daily, and you see I've got the same thing set up. So basically what I'm trying to do with these Fibonacci retracements is I'm trying to get set up for take a position. Because if we are anticipating a bounce, all the technical traders are getting loaded up, ready to fire, and so you want to be in that momentum, right? You want to be as it's going up. If it does start to weaken a little bit, you can sell out of your position, but these are the targets that I have marked for myself as we anticipate to come down with Litecoin. Oh, so it should continue. So with Litecoin, there's discussion in the Fed. Jerome Powell was talking about the United States having its own digital dollar, USD. So they're looking at it. Does that necessarily have anything to do with crypto? I doubt it, because they are trying to work with JP Morgan, which I'm not a big fan of, as you know, to create this thing. And it just makes sense to have a digital currency. We don't need to have paper dollars running around. I don't use cash quite at all, hardly, if I don't have to. So anywho, let's have a look at Litecoin. So basically, we are testing support on we are down with Litecoin. We're down to 8.35%, and we are going to come down to test support. Looks like right at the top of this fib here that I have set up, the 0.786. If we can push down into this buy zone here, we're bounce ready. So as you can see, the RSI, I should say, is trailing down. So we're going to eventually, this is the daily chart. This is a little different time-wise. So it's going to, was probably already oversold. Let's see. No, yeah, we did bounce. You can see here, once it gets below that 30, typically you get a bounce out of that, right? So it just depends on if there's news related, what have you. But it seems like we're trying to find a bottom with Litecoin. So we're looking for who's going to be the first one to blast off. And I'm thinking that Litecoin makes a lot of sense as far as a currency goes, as far as it's the Lightning Network, it's fast, the fees are small, the transactional fees, it can scale, so things like that, that's, gives it a good solid use case. So looking at Litecoin. Moving on to, let's have a look at Stellar. XLM had a big run yesterday. If you managed to get on that trade, I was talking about it in the morning. As you can see, let's get back to, we're back on the hourly time zone here with Stellar XLM USD. Had a good run all the way up to, I don't think we got to no, we didn't get to an all-time high, but did we get up to the top? So we did set our fib here. As you can see, I'm starting to get a strategy together, or this is dipping down into the buy zone, but we are on the hourly time frame, so we would need to trade this guy on a little shorter time period, swing trade it, and watching for other indicators. So we see that we had above average trading volume, then it kind of fell off. Bears took advantage of the volume swing, and we sold down into our 0.786 Fibonacci, etc. So let's do our normal levels. We're going to come down to, we're trying to hold support on the bodies of these two candles and the wick of this third. So support is 0.386. Resistance We have a double top right here underneath the 100-day moving average at 0.403. That's Stellar XLM USD, down almost 11%. Moving on, we're going to do Cardano, another mover that's gotten a lot of attention. ADA, as you can see, we're finding some really good support off this 100-day moving average here on the 1-hour time frame. It is trending upwards. We have the 12-day curling up. So we're going to look for that to cross the 26 maybe in the next 3 or 4 hours, possibly longer. So looking at support down here at the 1.20 mark, and then your first level of resistance on the climb back up. Going to need to overcome, let's move this because we have some more, we had some hurdles getting up that last go around. So we'll put the resistance at 1.252. And that is Cardano ADA. All right, let's do a quick resort on the list here. And we'll start out with the hardly nobody is green. As you can see, there's a lot of red in there. All right, of course, DAI is going to stay green. It's a stable coin. And then going to NMR, which is a new one. This one's on Coinbase. As you can see, I was interested in trading it. I have some buy and sell levels. It's dipping down in there, but I want to see it close, a candle close inside my range here. And then that will get us a new low to set the fibs. So support right now is right on this 100-day moving average. And got quite a bit of support. We've overshot several times, but 38.36 support. And let's get another line in there. Over here to our horizontal line tool. And if you're wondering if you do have TradingView why your lines don't look the same, is you can go in here, double click on that line, go to style, and you can select, I like this dotted line. So I want to see the other lines that may fall beneath it. You can change the color to whatever you want. You can add text to it, like we can say resistance. As you can tell, resistance, there we go. There's that misspelled. Thank you, computer, for telling me. Sorry about that. There we go. And there we go. And you can make that label go in the center, whatever. So anyway, let's have our resistance level down in, we tried to bust free here. Look at that big old giant wick on that. I think that's called a shooting star. Not sure, check me on that. But we got some tight levels here for resistance support on NMR. Moving on to Tron, TRX USD. As you see, our previous levels we had drawn the day before, because I have no interest in trading Tron. 0.0435. And resistance is going to start to encounter right here. As you can see the tops of these wicks, we have quite a bit of confirmation across there. Resistance 0.0448 if you're wanting to trade Tron. Let's look at BTC on the hourly time frame. We'll get over here so we get, like I said, I've got marked. Trying to settle on the bottom here as we're just, the RSI is just touching the oversold. Trying to bounce. We'll need some increased volume. The bulls need to make their mind up. They're going to go for it or wait it out as we try to fall down a little bit more to find support. And then we'll have resistance up at the 45,000 psychological first, and then you can see we'll have some work to do to get up above this 458.63 USD. Moving on to FIL, or FIL, however how you want to pronounce it, FIL USD, traded on Coinbase. We have 35.383 support, and resistance on these two big candles right there. So we're going to have to get through the 35.97, so roughly $36 USD to get through, and keep an eye on that 100-day moving average as well. It's going to create some resistance for us as we try to climb back through all these converging just had a oh man moment there. Moving averages. There we go. All right, let's move on to one of the DeFi coins, AAVE BUSD, traded on Binance. Oh, and let me tell you what I discovered. This is hilarious. So I haven't really done much trading on Binance in a long while actually. And so I went in there yesterday and discovered that I tried to make some trades, and it says, we've determined that you are from the United States and you need to use Binance.us. I go, holy cow, I had no idea. So anyway, I had to set up a Binance.us account. Took me about, I don't know, 30 minutes to do that. Go through the standard KYC, know your customer. That's going to be something you'll have to encounter. And I was able to transfer all of my tokens and coins from Binance over to Binance.us. And you're actually able to trade them right away. But to move currency or fiat currency or some other, if you're trying to use your credit card, what have you, you will need to go through the full-blown authentication. You'll have to send a copy of your driver's license or passport, a picture of that, do some other things, and then you'll be able to fund that account if you wanted to move fiat into there. So I would, if you're considering trading on Binance.us, I feel like it's pretty safe, and so keep that in mind. Moving on, we support level at 305.47 here on AAVEB USD, and 318.175 resistance. And moving on to MKR, down 7.35%. You see this support level, we just lost that one past couple of hours, so we're going to have to go over and find, yep, there we go. We just touched down on these two wicks here. Trying to find a bottom with MKR USD. I'm going to actually keep an eye on this one because we may be in bounce territory. We have support down at the 1777.80 USD. Resistance, quite obvious on these tops up here at 1904. So look for the 1900 psychological, but 1904 to 1908 range resistance. On the bounce up, we do have increasing volume. We can zoom into that. You can see volume traded above average, and we are right now we're 1.899K volume traded. Moving on to IOTA, Internet of Things, and this particular one was the one I was going to exit yesterday. Yeah, I did manage to get out before we fell through this support. Because I was watching this, I thought, well, I took some off the table right here, and then when we lost support on this 100-day, I took the rest off. So I'm in cash on that position right now, fiat cash, whatever you want to call it. I'm actually in BNB, Binance Coin. May move that. I'll watch BNB today too, but I may move that over to a stable coin. But we're going to sit there and keep an eyeball on the support levels down here, trying to hold above the dollar range. So watch that psychological number, but right now we're at 1.04, and then we're going to come and watch resistance on the climb up. We're going to need to get through. You can see the bodies of all these candles gave us a fit on the way up last time. So 1.08 roughly in that range. For IOTA, Ethereum, as you say, we had marked previously the second level of support. We did go through the first level that we had marked, so we'll need to probably zoom out to the 4-hour time frame and see if we can find some. Yeah, there we go. We'll pull this down out of the way for a bit. So let's look for next support trying to hold in. You have all this traffic here that bounced off the 100-day. So we're going to put support for Ethereum at 1292.32 USD. Second layer of support, as you can see, all this cluster here, the wicks on this candle at 1200 USD. So anticipate it to get into this range, just like we showed on BTC, some of the others. A little bit more pain to come, I think, before we bounce. And then resistance is going to be at the 1388.56. Switching back to 1-hour time frame just to validate that. Yep, that's where we're going to be. On Ethereum, if you're just joining me, say hello in the chat. I see a few folks in there ghosting around, trying to be cool. If you have some coins or tickers you want me to chart for you, put them in there. Or if you have questions about any of the things I have set up on my TradingView, happy to help. And I am using the desktop version, beta desktop version of TradingView. Very streamlined, very quick. So let's move on to NANO. As you can see, fell through that real tight range there. Exploded down here to the bottom. And we have this support level. We'll try the body of that candle over here for $4.59 USD. And then we're going to have some work to do. We'll just zoom in for you to get above. Yeah, go right there. Body of that candle, wicks on these two. So coming back up, we're going to have to get to the 4.90, and then you'll have the $5 psychological. Volume is pretty light for this particular one, only at 430,000 traded. So we have a new one, DGB USD, requested by one of our viewers, so I'll chart that one. Well, let's go ahead and look for some support. We're going to have to zoom out to the 4-hour to find previous levels. So there we go, right there at holding support at the 0.0479 USD. And we will get you resistance for this guy. Double top right there. And the 12-day create resistance there at 0.0534. Moving on to VeChain, VET USD. We'll stay on the 4-hour time frame as we're starting to poke through some of these previous levels of support. So we have to go back in time a little bit. There we go. That one looks pretty good. So 0.036. Resistance at 0.03913. So we'll watch these tight ranges here. And moving on to DOT, Polkadot. Looks like we're holding up a little bit better for this particular coin. It's down 8, almost 9%. Looking to hold support at the 29.6709 and resistance. Try to get through this 100-day moving average there. So we're going to watch closely as we try to pull through. The 32.35. Do want to share with you. Do have several viewers are asking about apps. I do recommend this particular one, and I will put it in the chat for you. Cointracker. Cointracker is pretty cool because what it will do, it allows you to go in, and if you have a Binance account and you have a Coinbase Pro account or Coinbase or some of the other ones, it lets you merge all these wallets and view all of it all together. And it does this through using API, and it very straightforward. It's not too technical if you want to go in there. And I put you the link in there. It's Cointracker. If you'll use that referral link, I'm not sure what I get out of it, but that'll get you to the right place. Because here's the thing on this discussion. One of the reasons why I put a lot of these links in there, not only are they referral codes and things like that, but they also get you to legitimate websites, because we are in full-on scam season right now. We have a lot of new retail people coming into the crypto space, and there are tons and tons and tons of counterfeit websites that try to get API keys, or they try to get your private keys for your crypto. All kind of scams out there, so be very, very cautious and double check, triple check, do all those things. That's why I share the links for you, because they have all been proven. I've used them for years and years and years. I'm not sponsored by nobody, so it's all based on my experience. But get Cointracker. Also, Cointracker is really good when it comes time to do your taxes, to generate tax reports. They do charge you for that, but I think it's worth the money. It's not that much money, so when it becomes tax time for you, you'll appreciate that. All right, moving on to CELO. CELO, we are down right at the 9% level, trying to hold support down here at the 3.51. And let's move these around and get you in line. We'll put a secondary support level. There we go. Secondary support at 3.81. Now we'll put this guy where it belongs at the 3.51. Resistance level to encounter. You got this 12-day moving average. As you can see, we're bouncing. We bounced off, rejected the 26-day, fell back down beneath the 12-day, rejected there. So we're trying to get through that resistance, and that is going to encounter about right there. So the 3.86342. Moving on to basic attention coin. I mentioned this in yesterday's live stream. BAT is part of the Brave browser affiliation. So basically, if you download for free, do I have the link? Let me see. I do not have that. If you look for the Brave browser, it's designed and developed by the individual and the teams that came up with Mozilla, Firefox, those kind of things. So what they wanted to do is have a safe browser that doesn't track all of your activity and give it away to folks. And then if you do encounter ads, you get paid. You get paid BAT. If so, you'll set up a Ethereum wallet, fully. It's an ERC20 token, so it's all secure and all the good things. So Brave browser, it's a really good browser, and it's a great way to earn free BAT. Basic attention coin support at 0.459, and the 0.502 resistance. Do watch out for some activity on BAT, because this new browser launch is just underway, so that we may see some enthusiasm get behind BAT as people determine that, okay, the use case for this is particularly strong and believable, usable, all that good stuff. CGLD, you can see we lost our support and fell down to this level, which is now 3.554 USD. This one's on Coinbase. And then if you're 3.88, very lightly traded, 696,000 at the moment. Moving on to Doge. It's about time for Mr. Elon to tweet us a Doge tweet. He usually does that on Sunday. We'll see. Holding support. We did try to pop through, but came back up. Bulls bought us back up to this level, so we're going to mark that at 0.0428 support. And you can see we're coming up to retest, trying to pooch through the 12 and 26 day moving average. So first of all, we got to get through the 0.04896 and looking for some volume, which is trailing off tremendously. And for Doge to trade 13.556 million is pretty low. As you can see, by the way, I did add the volume indicator to my favorites list, and you do that by going up here at the top. I think you can see that maybe there's an ellipse on the far right hand corner. You just click that ellipse and you can check which things you want in there. So I have symbol, last trade price, change percent, and volume on my list. Moving on to XTZ USD. Just like the others, we have tested several levels down here, but it looks like we're comfortable with 3.1920 USD. And got to get through right there. You see the doji there. Indecision sent us down below. 3.4420. EOS USD. Let's see. Are we? Yeah, we're on the 4 hour here. So we're trying to. We got to look back in time for previous support levels to. I'm going to set this one down just below because we have quite a bit of traffic. But bear in mind that we are on top of the 12 and 26, so that gives us a little bit more momentum to the upside over here than here. We're on the bottom side of the 12 and the 26, so that's going to be resistance. So we'll put us another support level to watch out for right here at the on the previous candle at the 3.28. And then resistance on these wicks, we could use the body of the candle first. We got to get through there at the 3.48, then through the wicks, then into the 12-day, then 26 on the climb up. Moving on to Ethereum Classic, ETC USD, one of the lighter traded ones. Support at 9.814. We'll leave our resistance level here because we know to watch for the 1226. They're still trending downward. So that's just going to continue to provide resistance until we can get through there. And then the second layer is going to be in the $12.15 range USD. Moving on to Link, LINK USD. We're looking at Coinbase's data. And just so you know, I mentioned this yesterday, but also when you're typing in the tickers and you just go in here in TradingView when you're on the screen, if we're looking at Link, by the way, we just type in LINK. Whoops, got a space in there. Sorry, I've got a Band-Aid on my finger. But you can see down through here all the different, you can choose which exchange and which pairing you want to pair up with and monitor. And so what I do is I switch over to, if I'm looking at Link, for example, I'll look over here on Coinbase and we'll just do a quick, where's my search at? There we go, LINK. LINK, Chainlink, go there. We know that Link's number 9, but what CoinGecko will do, and I'll put that in the description for you, is it will tell you which are the most heavily traded exchanges. And what you want to do is you want to look for the exchange that has the highest amount of volume, because that's going to give you the more significant data than if it's lighter traded and what have you. But as you can see, Link USDT is, these two are sponsored, but Binance, not Binance US, but Binance has the heavily traded one. But I can't trade, at the moment, I can't trade Link /USDT until I get my account verified, which is almost ready, the .US one. So I can trade that on Coinbase. So that's why I chose to look at the Coinbase data. Is it still relevant? It has good volume. You're seeing it like a Link. We have 478 million in volume. So that's how I kind of come to the on deciding which ones to put in my favorites and track in TradingView. So there you go. There's a little tip for you. So we got support for Link at 23.368 USD. Coming up to what we got right there, 24.588. And then again, 1226 to provide. You see that? See how that resistance right there? We poked through. Couldn't get a close though above his confirmation, so we fell back. That's what you're kind of looking for. Moving on to comp USD. Could arguably, okay, I'm not even going to try to say that word, sorry. This could be an inverse head and shoulders forming up here, but we're going to look at support at the 353.608. Resistance here at the 375.81. Comp USD, very lightly traded, so watch out for that, because these, you want to look at, we'll go back here real quick. You want to go back on CoinGecko. Let me put the, I'll put the link for you in the chat. So what you're looking for is you want to see the coins that have, first of all, they need to have a decent market cap, because the bigger the market cap, the higher it is, the harder it is to manipulate, or for whales and those kind of folks to move the price around. So, basically that's why I go through the top 10. And then in CoinGecko, you can sort by ranking market cap, which tells you like Bitcoin's the first. And then you've got these Cardano, Binance Coin, and Polkadot, all relatively the same in the 30 billion range, right? So significant amount of size and market cap. And then that's what you're after. Then, of course, you want to go out and validate, what's the use case of these coins? Are they valid? Do they have a purpose? Do you think that is Litecoin going to be used like the silver to Bitcoin's gold, and is going to be like the currency, low fees, Lightning Network, very fast, easy to move around? So that's kind of what you want to consider. Moving back to charting, we've already done Stellar. We'll go on down to DNT, USDC. Quite a bunch of lines here. This particular one, we're trading below the average for this coin. So we'll put some support down at the 0.209. First level support on the previous candle right there. So we want to close above this previous low. And then resistance, as you can see, having a difficult time getting above the 12 and 26 day moving averages. So resistance at 0.25 psychological round number. So quite a bit of resistance in play with this one. So just keep that in mind. Moving on to Binance Coin. As you see in the description of this video, their Coinbase is getting ready to IPO. They announced to the SEC that they intend to go public. Some folks in the crypto space are thinking, well, Binance is never going to go public, but you can own Binance by the BNB token. Don't tell nobody that. Just a thought. We do have the 100-day moving average we're just about to intersect with. It's going to be some resistance, but if we can climb above that with some volume, we'll look to get through the 1226. So right now we're setting at support at the 196.93 USD and resistance 219.809. Then we can, let me just go ahead and put this resistance level up there. There we go. Second layer. So you've got quite a bit of resistance to work through. If you're out there, I can see folks in there. Say hi in the chat. Please like, subscribe. No harm in that. Nobody will ever know but me. ZIL USD. Set some support levels on the previous candle. Almost got, yeah, we have on this wick here before, just barely above this green candle there. So we're looking at support for ZIL down at the 0.0988. And resistance is going to be in the 0.10228. Yes. So tightening range. RSI is in good shape. We're about dead center. This is on the 4-hour time frame. I'm on the 4-hour because on the 1-hour it's kind of hard to tell support levels because we were falling, and we have to go back in time to get a better picture of the support level. So we're running on the 4-hour time frame. GRT USD. As you can see, we did manage to, the body of this candle did get, managed to hold a support level from these in this area here. This is back on February the 23rd. So support is at 1.445. Resistance is going to be on the climb up. Now this one has a little headroom, so resistance at 1.60, and then as you can see, we've got a little bit of space to get through. We got some wiggle room to get up to the 12 and 26, which are both trending downward, so they are going to provide more resistance as time goes by. TRX USD lost support. We got to go way back in time. Ooh, this is going to be tough because, as you can see, we had a big move to the upside. Failed to put down any support levels. So we're going to go previous resistance now becomes support. So we're in between these two candles, close and open. So we do have some room to drop. We could zoom in here on the 1-hour and see if we get a better picture out there back in time. Yeah, we do have a little bit more indicator here. There we go. Nope, we got to go lower. Got to go. Here we are here. So we got to go. There we are. Support at 1.11. 1.114. Resistance going to be at the 1.26. So that is CRX. Rounding out NU USD. It trying to set support here in this region of 0.600. Sorry about that. And resistance at the 0.683. You can see we battle on the 12 and 26. Do we have any questions out there? Anything in the chat? Say hello. Do all those things. Let me look through the notes here. Let's see. So we talked about scouting the position, trying to look for the bounce play on BTC, Litecoin, Stellar, ADA, and GRT for the time being. We're going to look for some emerging. So these biggest moves down to the downside have the best potential to go back to the upside. So BNB had a big move down, 10.64 so far, and GRT as well at 12.26. And then, giving a few more minutes, a few more seconds for you folks. I appreciate you sticking with me here. I will put the some of the news you may have seen come up is with Tether and Bitfinex. I'll put you a link here if you want to read all about that. If you've been around in the space for a while, we've kind of known about the Tether and Bitfinex relationship as they are not being quite honest with the amount of money that they have been losing, and they've not been honest with the you know the amount of U.S. dollar or backing to support the tether that they print. So go on there. There's a link to that article. It's not a referral link or anything like that. It's on Cointelegraph if you want to go read about Tether and Bitfinex. You need to understand that because, like I said, we are in the full-blown scale scam season for crypto, especially when we have everybody's talking about it. So all the bad guys out there know that, and they're trying to take advantage. So be careful out there. Also, keep an eye on the stock market. Keep an eye on the influence. And I can show you here in TradingView, you can just type in SPY. SPY. That is the S&P 500. As you can see, big old move to the downside. Got everybody concerned. There's a big gap here. So the SPY, S&P, and the stock market does have some influence on crypto, particularly Bitcoin. Sometimes it can be to our favor. Sometimes it can be to our disadvantage. Sometimes people will move their money out of bonds or out of particular stocks or things like that into crypto as a hedge in case things get really bad for the US dollar or etc. Keep that in mind. SPY if you want to track that. Keep an eye on them. Moving on. We're almost there. Let's see. Do we have any coin ticker requests or any questions, answers out there? Anything? Give it a few more minutes. There's a slight time delay. And so we will let's look at the total market cap has leaked out a little bit more, as you can see. So we're coming down to, let's see, how far back in time. So we're down to, as far as market cap, down to February 23 levels and even all the way back to February 8th. And so that means that some money is sitting on exchanges, maybe in just parked there, or fiat has left the building. That's total market cap is down to 1.307. And then let's have a look at BTC dominance, BTC.D, if you're tracking that on TradingView. As you can see, we just kind of been bouncing around. So Bitcoin's holding steady. So Bitcoin dominance still around 62.15, which is relatively flat. Let's have a look at the coin market cap of 815 billion. So we're still above 1.5 trillion in total crypto market cap, or just underneath 1.5. So we could say 1.25 trillion. And I see we have no questions. Let me run through the notes. Anything left? Keep an eye out for Cardano ADA hard fork tomorrow, March 1st. ADA is ranked 1, 2, 3 in the market cap. They are forking the coin. There's going to be no coins released, so nothing like that. Basically, it's just a system upgrade. As you can see, they are, and I think that's why you can see there's been a lot of activity around ADA lately. They are showing a lot of activity in upgrading the system, upgrading the technology, things like that. So that's a good indication that there are folks working hard behind the scenes trying to make ADA work. And I think that's about it for me. And if you want to support me, you can click that like button, hit subscribe, type something in the chat, or leave a comment in the comment section if you have any suggestions, anything like that for the future. I appreciate you. Stay safe out there, and we will see you tomorrow morning. Thank you.